The job description of a cloud engineer involves designing, developing, and maintaining an organization's computing infrastructure in the cloud. Cloud engineers are responsible for creating scalable, reliable, and cost-effective solutions that enable businesses to operate more efficiently and innovate faster. They leverage their expertise in a range of platforms, including Amazon Web Services, AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud Platform, to manage resources, deploy applications, and oversee a company's migration to the cloud. Cloud engineers must blend strong technical skills with a deep understanding of networking, storage, and security to help their organizations maximize the benefits of the cloud. As companies move their operations away from physical data centers toward the flexibility of the cloud, the role of a cloud engineer has become more and more indispensable. Cloud engineers not only implement and configure services, from computing and storage to databases and messaging, but also help to streamline workflows, control costs, and maximize performance. They collaborate with software engineers, DevOps teams, and IT department stakeholders to develop scalable, reliable, and adaptable computing infrastructures. The responsibilities of a cloud engineer frequently overlap with those of a solutions architect, a DevOps engineer, or a site reliability engineer. Nevertheless, a specialized focus on designing, developing, and securing resources in the cloud makes this role unique and profoundly important in today's enterprise computing environment. Primary responsibilities of a cloud engineer. A key responsibility within the job description of a cloud engineer is designing and implementing scalable, reliable, and secure computing infrastructures in the cloud. Cloud engineers collaborate with stakeholders to assess application requirements and translate them into technical designs. They select appropriate services and resources, from virtual machines and storage to load balancers and databases, to match the application's performance, resiliency, and cost criteria. Once the architecture is defined, a large part of the role involves configuring and provisioning resources through code. Cloud engineers typically employ infrastructure as code, IOC, tools, such as Terraform, CloudFormation, or Azure Resource Manager, to streamline and automate the delivery of resources. This approach makes their deployment more reliable, reproducible, and less prone to human error. Cloud engineers are also responsible for securing the computing environment. They implement controls to manage identities, roles, and permissions, encrypt data at rest and in transit, and harden network components against cyber threats. Security groups, virtual private clouds, and service control policies are all tools that a proficient cloud engineer must be able to configure and oversee. Another key area of responsibilities for a cloud engineer is ongoing operations and maintenance. Cloud services, while reliable and scalable, require careful oversight to maximize their benefits. Cloud engineers perform health checks, respond to outages, and resolve service disruptions promptly. They implement logging, metrics, and alarm mechanisms to proactively identify and resolve issues, often employing services like CloudWatch, Stackdriver, or Azure Monitor. Furthermore, a proficient cloud engineer plays a key role in optimizing resources and reducing waste. Cloud platforms typically operate on a pay-as-you-go basis, which makes cost control a significant consideration. Cloud engineers regularly review utilization reports, consolidate workloads, implement scaling policies, and dispose of unused resources to keep the environment cost-effective and well-optimized. Essential skills and qualities for the role. To be successful in this role, a strong technical background is required. Cloud engineers need a deep understanding of computing fundamentals, including networking, storage, and database technologies, to effectively design and deploy scalable services. Experience with Linux and Windows Server administration, scripting languages, such as Python or Bash, and configuration management is often desirable. Proficiency in a major public cloud services, AWS, Azure, or GCP, is a must. Cloud engineers should be comfortable designing, configuring, and optimizing services such as EC2, S3, RDS, ECS, and CloudPub, Sub. Familiarity with specialized services, AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Azure App Service, Google Cloud Run, is also valuable. Infrastructure as code is another key competency for a proficient cloud engineer. Tools like Terraform, AWS CloudFormation, or Azure ARM enable engineers to define their architecture in a declarative, reusable format. An understanding of scripting and automation techniques, and a strong discipline for employing those techniques, makes for a more scalable and less error-prone infrastructure. Security expertise is a non-negotiable requirement. Cloud engineers must be proficient in securing their workloads against cyber threats. That means understanding of network segmentation, encryption, role and policy configuration, vulnerability scanning, and incident response. Security controls not only safeguard data and workloads but also help companies maintain compliance with industry standards and regulations. Soft skills are just as important in this role. Cloud engineers frequently collaborate with software engineers, QA, operations, and stakeholders across the business. Communication, problem-solving, adaptability, and a service-oriented mindset enable a strong team dynamic and smooth delivery of services. Work environment and challenges. The working environment for a cloud engineer is typically fast-paced and collaborative. Cloud engineers often find themselves designing systems alongside software engineers and application developers, while interacting regularly with operations, security, and data teams. Some roles may be fully remote, while others may require periodic office meetings or on-premises collaboration. Nevertheless, much of the daily responsibilities, designing, configuring, and optimizing services, can be performed remotely thanks to the extensive use of cloud-native tools and automation. This role can present numerous technical and operational challenges. Cloud engineers must stay up to date with rapidly changing service portfolios and pricing models, which can affect architecture and cost decisions. Security is a constant consideration. A small oversight, a misconfigured policy, or a publicly exposed storage can have significant ramifications. Furthermore, scaling services efficiently and designing for resiliency against failures, outages, or attacks is a delicate and challenging process. Some organizations may require their engineers to be available on call to respond to service outages or emergencies. Cloud engineers must be comfortable with this responsibility and able to resolve issues promptly under pressure. Educational requirements and training. Most positions require at least a bachelor's degree in computer science, information technology, or a related discipline. Nevertheless, strong hands-on experience and certifications can sometimes be valued more highly than formal education. Certifications from major clouds: AWS Certified Solutions Engineer, Azure Administrator, Google Cloud Platform Engineer, are recognized industry credentials that validate a candidate's expertise. The job description of a cloud engineer often highlights these certifications as desirable. Training typically comes from a combination of workplace experience and independent study. Cloud engineers may pursue certifications, attend specialized training sessions, or use online platforms to learn about new services and best practices. Continuous education is key in a field that evolves rapidly and regularly introduces new technologies. Conclusion. The job description of a cloud engineer underscores a role that is at once technical, collaborative, and forward-thinking. Cloud engineers serve as the builders and innovators who enable companies to leverage the power of the cloud. By designing scalable, reliable, and cost-effective infrastructures, securing those infrastructures against cyber threats, and optimizing resources for performance and price, these engineers help organizations become more flexible, more adaptable, and more efficient. For those who enjoy problem-solving, automation, and designing systems from the ground up, a career as a cloud engineer can be deeply rewarding. It offers the opportunity to work at the cutting edge of technology, shaping the future of computing and making a measurable impact on businesses' ability to innovate and grow.